I'm Jerry. I'm going to introduce the virtual cluster project to all of you, and there is a simple demo of this project. All of the manifest or code from this demo, you can find them on the Kubernetes 6 multi-tenancy repo, and the Docker image related to this demo is uploaded to the Docker Hub on the virtual cluster registry. Okay, let's begin our demo. Firstly, there is a simple Kubernetes cluster set up by Minikube. And we will set up a virtual cluster according to the guide menu. We will skip the first 3 steps, and in the future we will make a deep integration with the tenant controller, and in this demo we will create the namespace manually. Firstly, we install the virtual cluster in the cluster version CRD, and we create a namespace for our controller plan to run. Because one of our component named VN agent should we are communicating with the Kubernetes using the Kubernetes kind certification and key, and so we create a secret from these 2 files, and we start the 3 control component. Just watch the port on the supermaster. We are creating the 3 control components of the virtual cluster: VC manager and VC syncer and VN agent. And the next step, we create a cluster version. The cluster version defines every optional configuration of a Kubernetes cluster, such as every bootstrap argument of the Kubernetes master component, and we create a virtual cluster based on the cluster version we create just now. The virtual cluster YAML is very simple. You just defined which cluster version to use. We will see example. And the VC manager are creating a virtual cluster for us. Create the etcd and the API server and the controller manager. And the VC CTL command tool will export the kubeconfig of this virtual cluster to this path, and we can access to the virtual cluster using this kubeconfig. And we can see there was the virtual cluster is running, and there is no ports on this virtual cluster, and we are trying to create a deployment of the virtual cluster and do some basic operations. And firstly, I will show you the actually ports running on the physical node. Okay, there are 15 ports on this physical node, and I will create a deployment. The simple deployment set up using the BusyBox, and I apply the deployment YAML. And waiting for the port deployment to ready. And okay, the ports are created ready, and I will show you the actually port now on the physical node. Okay, there's just one more port on the physical node because the virtual cluster just providing view isolation and the dedicated control plane, and the ports are actually running on the supermaster cluster. That on the supermaster cluster is really running the ports, and I will show you to execute a command from the virtual cluster side. Okay. And you can see everything works fine when we execute the command from the virtual cluster side, and it actually running on the supermaster cluster. It works fine. This port works fine. Okay, this is all of my demo. Thanks.